talking about here. Yes. Welcome in. Welcome back to OMO. You could say that the first episode, was recorded on location. Kind of was, actually. I wasn't really in this particular room where I'm recording right now. I was in the other side of the house. Just kind of maxing, relaxing. Didn't want to come in here and record for some reason, so I was like, screw it, I'll set up in there, and yeah. It was fine, don't get me wrong, but I am much more excited to finally be in my main setup. This is where all the most magic is going to happen with these shows now. So the first one I'm going to do is right here, this episode of OMO, before Save the Planet comes back, before anything else I do. It's OMO episode 2. Welcome in. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed last week's first episode. Like I said, it's going to take me a while to get back into the swing of things when it comes to doing podcasts, especially doing podcasts by myself. That's a huge step for me. So stick with me. Things will be rough around the edges at first. Hopefully this one sounds a lot better. Got a new mic for all this stuff I'm trying to do and get off the ground. So hopefully it sounds better, and hopefully we won't do a lot more of those on the road shows like we did last week, even though it was literally just not even 100 yards, 100 feet away. It happens. So, welcome in. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm going to follow up on some stuff I talked about last week. There's one thing I'm going to mention right now, just off the cuff here. I don't really have anything about it. I've heard some rumors that the PlayStation 6, that they're working on it, that they're talking about what the new things are. You know what? I'm not excited for the PS6 because honestly, it still feels like the PS5 hasn't even got off the ground. We are 5 years into this console generation. Not only have prices gone up, but it's like these consoles don't know what they are anymore. I mean, it doesn't help that there are already PCs anyways. Listen, the better these consoles get, they're basically just PCs. Don't get me wrong. If you're wanting the maximum playability, resolution, whatever, yeah, just make yourself a PC. It's going to be expensive. Don't get me wrong. But if you're looking for the absolute best way to play video games in 2025 and beyond, build yourself a PC. Why I like console video games is why I've played them all my life. I like them for the conveniency. I like them for just the fact that it's all built into one. I like that they're relatively priced, even though not anymore. But that's why I like them. And I like PlayStation. I like their games. I don't particularly like the PS5's list of games because the unfortunate joke of PS5 has no games is relevant. I hate it. Absolutely despise it. But hey, we got Astrobot. Yay. No, we got a bunch of failed attempts and $400 million losses and live service games and games we still have yet to see get off the ground and everything. That's fantastic. And buying out studios that we don't need to. Bungie. I say we like I'm part of the freaking people that work at Sony. What am I doing? There's a reason why they bought them, because they wanted to do this live service, but that's not their bread and butter. Live service has never been Sony's bread and butter. It's always been those single-player experiences. I think Ghost of Yotei is getting a little crapped on just because it's like another open world type game. I don't know. I've tried to avoid everything with it just because my first experience with it is I want to play it until I do. I don't want to really hear anything about it, positive or negative. I see people post about it and post good things on Facebook, and I see those laughing reactions, and my negativity first mind always goes, well, they're laughing at the game, they don't like it, blah, 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 blah. It's another open world game, it's another Sony game, they suck, blah, 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 blah. it is what it is. You know, I've heard it's already better, or I've heard it's a little better than the first one. I really wasn't into the first one idea-wise, and then I finally played it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did not give this one a chance. So whatever. I'm sure this one will be great, and I want to play it. There's too many games I want to play now that cost $70 that I just don't want to buy yet. Still haven't bought Silent Hill. Still looking at NASCAR 25, which is completely off the radar of games that are coming out. And also that's 60, not 70. Battlefield 6, I'd love to play that. Borderlands 4, love to play that. Don't have enough money to do with life and $70 video games that come out. And I really don't want to buy $70 video games. Plus, recently I haven't played as many video games. Hell, I'm talking about video games more than I've actually been playing them recently. But man, I do love talking about video games. So let's talk about some more. And I'll get to Battlefield 6 here in a little bit. But speaking of Battlefield, at least who publishes the games, I tried to avoid this last week because I wanted to vet it out a little more. Unfortunately, I haven't really vetted it out much more since then either. I just have the press release, and I have what my opinion is on it, but I'm not going to go too far on what my opinion is, but what I'm talking about is EA being acquired by PIF, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners. I tried to record this the other night, one of many recordings I've tried to do this episode for, and I didn't like it. I didn't like what I was saying, and I was honestly getting really tired. And I felt like I wasn't being fair, and I was being too negative. And my negativity is this. I don't like it. I don't like this acquisition. I don't want to go into detail about why. I just don't like it. You can probably figure out why. If you're not living underneath a rock, you probably understand why. But I just don't like it. But as much as they were bought out for, I can totally understand why they accepted this. $55 billion. That's an incredible amount of money by this consortium, which, by the way, consortium of these three companies. Isn't consortium a wrestling faction? My wrestling fans out there, wasn't the consortium a wrestling faction? I could look that up right now, but I don't want to. I'll leave that up to you. Let me know, was the consortium a wrestling faction? That just sounds so perfect for a name for a wrestling faction. I just don't remember. But the consortium of these companies buying EA for $55 billion is incredible. Apparently, this isn't expected to close until Q1 of fiscal year 2027. I don't know when that is exactly. And not only did this consortium, whenever this does expect to close, buy this for so much, they are getting 100% of it instead of the existing about 10% they had of stockholders, of stocks or whatever. They are taking it private. They're taking Electronic Arts private. Listen to some of these games they're getting. Just remember the history of EA. Just listen to some of these games these companies are getting. They're getting everything from EA: Battlefield, Need for Speed, Apex Legends, The Sims. EA Sports are getting Madden, FC, formerly FIFA. If they'd ever bring back NBA Live, they'd get Live as well. EA Sports College Football, Titanfall, Plant vs. Zombies, F1 games. The catalog is incredibly good. Now, recent years, especially with some of the sports games, can be arguable if it's good or not, but that's an incredible catalog if you just look at some of the best games that's ever happened, that's ever been made. Some of the best franchises out there. And now they're being sold to PIF, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners. I mean, good on them. They have the money. They have the money to spend on someone or a company like EA. I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. But I can't say I like it. I can't say that I like it. All I'm going to do is just probably just be just a regular brainless consumer when it comes to this. Play the games. If I can get demos, I'll play demos, try them out. I don't really want to buy these games. Not because of this particular acquisition, because games are $70, like I previously mentioned. So if I can like borrow them or play them some other way, that's legal. That's legal. Come on now. I will. I just, man, video games are just so expensive anymore, and a real fear I have is that now that they've been bought out like this, that eventually they will be like the catalyst for trying to raise prices. I mean, Nintendo seems to really have the bull by the horns on that one, but it's not like EA hasn't done scummy things before. I mean, they were once known as the worst company in the United States. You don't think that they're going to try something scummy after being bought out like this and now they're going private? You think they're not going to keep on trying that? Still EA. They're owned by incredibly different people, but it's still EA. EA does what EA does. Now, recently, and I mean recently within the last 5 or so years, seems like EA's tried to make better. Although you look at Madden and you look at FIFA or FC, and you're like, no, they're not. They're still selling packs. They're still selling stuff that really doesn't need to be sold for billions of dollars, it seems like. But unfortunately, that's just the way gaming is now. But how's the games themselves? Well, Battlefield 6 is looking good. Seems to be pretty good. Might be a good segue to talk about that. Before I go into that, you can look at other games like, so Dragon Age, the latest Dragon Age game wasn't that great, but I believe like the Split Fiction, that was EA under EA's umbrella. Skate, it's free to play. Yeah, it has a bunch of microtransactions, but you can pick up the game free digitally and just play it. You don't have to buy anything. There's that option for sure. And some of them are a little egregious. This isn't anything I've looked up. I just briefly saw it, so take it with a grain of salt. But isn't there some kind of like box Dead Space thing that's severely overpriced? Like it's a box costume that looks like what's his name? Oh shoot. I don't remember his name, but it looks like the main character from Dead Space. Only like it's like cardboard. But it's like very much overpriced. I thought I saw a price of $35. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But that's the price I thought I saw. That's too much. It's way too much for something digital, my guys. I mean, come on. I know you want to flaunt that you have it. You want to show your friends, oh, look at me. I have this cool costume and these colors, and I look sick, bro. Why don't you want to own, like actually touch and own it? Why do you want to just show it off and then if servers go off, you don't have it anymore? Why? Why is that okay? Why is that? No, yeah, I can't do it. I can't go in that conversation. That's just too much. It really doesn't matter. Spend your money how you want to. I'll spend my money how I want to, and I do not want to spend it on that. That's all I'll say. Just like with the whole PIF thing, I don't like it. That's all I'll say. Let's move on to the games part, and I'll go back to Battlefield 6 because it's finally here. Yay! During the summer, Battlefield 6 came out with the open betas and whatnot, and online seemed really cool. I played a little bit of it, not as much as I wish I would have while it was out, but I thought I had fun. Now, I am not a good first-person shooter. The games I like particularly are racing games, puzzle game, or not puzzle, but platformers, stuff like that. First-person shooters I like, but I'm not good at them, and I don't really want to spend a lot of time getting good at them. So I'm not getting good, scrub. I don't know what to tell you. But every now and then, if one comes out and I can play it somehow, I want to play it. I mean, I love Destiny 2. Destiny and Destiny 2 had some amazing... I guess for Destiny 2's sake, has some amazing gun mechanics. I love the shooting in Destiny 2. So Battlefield and Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the one from 2018, 2019, something like that, that was really good. I had a blast whenever that open beta came out, and when the game came out, I played a little bit, not a lot, but I played a little bit of it. It was fun. And just like this, I thought it was fun. I didn't play enough of it, but I am looking to play it again. As previously mentioned, though, one day. I just again, have too many. I have too many games that I need to go back. Hell, I haven't even finished Claire Obscure's Expedition 33. A Game of the Year candidate I still have not finished yet. What is wrong with me? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is wrong with this? A game that was just $50 to purchase. Brand spanking new. Physical, too. $50. I've gotten maybe like 3 hours into it. Just haven't had time. I've had a lot to do. I've had a lot to try to fix. It's been months just to get to this point where I'm recording just the second episode of this podcast. I did not have the time to play that game. I still haven't really played a lot of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater remake for 3 and 4, which 3 part is fine, 4 is, it is what it is. You weren't going to be able to do the same thing with 4 as you did when Pro Skater 4 originally came out in the engine that they wanted to do that had Pro Skater 1 and 2 in it. You just weren't going to do it. You'd have to separate the two, and they just didn't want to do that. It's not like they were going to skip 4 and go to 5. First of all, 5's a disaster, but 5 fits more into the realm, I think, of what 1 through 3 were, but it just completely failed at everything it was trying to do. But I could see 5 as that one that could have fit there, but then at that point, why would you even? Why would you bring it up? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 doesn't need to be talked about. Hell, me talking about it now is too much as it is. So the one you're going to go for is 4, but 4 was so completely different because they were starting to change their way of how they do the games because they were starting to get a little repetitive in that sense. So 4 did something different, being more actual having a campaign and stuff and letting you do different missions and you have 2 minutes to do each mission, whatever. You can't do that in this engine they're trying to use, that they tried to reuse again. There's no way. You have to completely make a new one. And hopefully they make a new one and do Underground 1 and 2 some justice. I know Tony Hawk, I'm relatively sure he's been he's talked about, I almost said outspoken. I can't say that because I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he said that he wants to do an Underground remake at least. I would love an Underground 3. But you could also say like American Wasteland is that, or I guess Project 8. I don't remember Project 8 very well. But there is no way you could have done it with what they had. With the same engine. There's no way. So you have this modified version of Pro Skater 4 that kind of just drags down a really good remake of Pro Skater 3. And it just sucks because I just haven't had time to really explore all the levels. But if it's anything like 1 and 2, it's going to be fun. It's going to be good. It's just got that it's got that thing of 4 that's just, it's not right. Where I would say Pro Skater 1 and 2 was probably a solid 8, maybe even 9 out of 10 in terms of sporting games or extreme sports games. I would say, even though I need to play a lot more of it, this one is at least a 7. Fun, but it's not like the best thing. It's not the best thing since sliced bread. I can already tell you that now. Only 10 songs from the original two games. How do you do that? The first one had so many songs from the original 2 soundtracks. How do you mess that up so bad? And 3 and 4 arguably had the best soundtracks. How do you mess it up that bad? 2 had an amazing soundtrack, but man, how do you beat out Ace of Spades, though? At least that's in the game. At least. Man, I just got a huge tangent. That's not where I wanted to go with that. I wanted to focus more on Battlefield, and here I'm talking about me not playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, but still thinking it's okay at best. Hey, at least Bam's in. That's good, I guess. Speaking of Battlefield 6, IGN, I just saw it on Facebook the other day, gave their campaign a 5. Gave it a 5. I mean, from my memory, I don't think Battlefield was ever known to have the most fun campaign, or at least the ones that made the most sense in the grand scheme of things when it came to campaigns and stuff. I feel like Battlefield was always the multiplayer game. Those are the games that you wanted to play multiplayer in the most. Which is odd because I played a lot of the other one. I played a lot of Call of Duty. Multiplayer at one point. And I enjoyed it. But Call of Duty was definitely more campaign structured. Their stories, while short, were actually very interesting. Around the time of World at War, all the way through Modern Warfares and the Black Ops up until it got just corny to be a Call of Duty game with the Black Ops name on it. I mean, they were fun, but the multiplayer in Battlefield was always great. I mean, Battlefield 1 alone was incredible. The World War I aesthetic, all the weapons and stuff back then. So good. So them giving the campaign a 5, it's not really surprising. Apparently it's short, which with these campaigns, I'm not surprised one bit. They're still short. They go a good 5 or 6 hours, and then I feel like campaigns in these first person shooters are just little warm ups to get you used to the game, to get you used to the shooting, so that you can go into multiplayer now and spend the rest of your time there. That's what it is. They don't want you to really play campaign. They'll make a campaign, but they want to drive you more into playing multiplayer, so you can probably drive you to go into the store to pay more so you can look cool while you're shooting bad guys. I feel like that's all they're trying to do now. So it being a mid right in the pack 5 doesn't surprise me one bit. Now, if Call of Duty, but hey, at least we got that coming out next month. If that comes out and IGN gives it like a 7 or 8, which is very on brand for IGN, I could see that happening. Then I'm going to look at that review and be like, well, now I really need to play the campaign of Battlefield. That 5 cannot be right. If they give Call of Duty an 8 for its campaign, and they only give Battlefield a 5, there's something wrong here. Because that campaign for Call of Duty is not going to be anything good either anymore. I don't think they can make a good Call of Duty campaign anymore. Maybe Black Ops 7 is the game to get Call of Duty back on track. Even though nothing surrounding marketing or anything about the game that I've seen says that. We'll see. Comes out next month. Can you wait? I can. Battlefield's out. Play Battlefield. Battlefield 6. This was odd. I saw this just browsing Facebook the other day, and all of a sudden I see PlayStation Gear Store shutting down. Actually, no, that's a lie. A buddy of mine showed me this. I'm like, so their main gear store from PlayStation.com is shutting down? So apparently this store is like completely, it's incorporated with PlayStation, but it's not like, if you go to PlayStation.com and you go to, here, I'll do that right now as we're talking here. Go to PlayStation.com. If you go to store at the top, you buy merchandise. Oh, well, shoot. Well, you know what? Made a liar out of me. Yeah, that's all you got to do. Go to the store, buy merchandise. And yeah, gear.playstation.com, they're just shutting it down. Closing December 31st. So they're going to have a lot of products they're probably going to be trying to sell. I don't understand it. I don't know why. Whatever. If they don't think that physical merch is really selling and they're wasting money on it, then I guess. But I just hate that. I hate that if this is the way the world is, that they have to even take this kind of approach. The way the world is now, people aren't willing to spend the money on frivolous stuff like this. I understand. It sucks. I don't like seeing stuff like this go away. So if you want to buy some PlayStation merch, you have until December 31st to get you some. That is gear.playstation.com. Get it while you can. I'm actually looking at this bucket hat. I've never had a bucket hat. Bucket hats are kind of stupid. Or at least everyone makes fun of people for having bucket hats or for wearing bucket hats. I actually want this bucket hat. I like the way it looks. It's just the basic black hat. On the front of it is the colorful PlayStation logo, the OG. And on the back, it just has the letters, or the, not letters, the shapes in black. Perfect. That's fine. That's all I need. That's a perfect, neutral hat for me. They also have a regular, what's it called, 5-panel hat? It's 5-panel about it. I don't know. Looks a little too thin, honestly. Like the top of the hat, I feel like it would be very uncomfortable on the top of my head. It just wouldn't look right to me. I do like the hat though. It looks nice. It's the same. It's got the same look as the bucket hat, but it also has different colors on the sides that match the colors of the OG PlayStation logo. That's cool. I wouldn't get that. I'd still look at the bucket hat as my go-to, but that's cool. If you want it, it's $15 for the 5-panel hat, and then $18 for the bucket hat. While it's on sale, while you can too, because remember, December 31st, store will be closing. Let's do a follow-up from last week. I talked a lot. The main thing, even before introducing this show to you all, the thing I talked about the most was the Xbox recent price increases to Game Pass. Well, I had a thought about it. I thought about it a little bit, and I feel like I was trying to be right in the middle with it. Let me say right now, I hate that they raised the prices. I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to be like in the middle, like, oh, I see that they did add stuff. I want to state right now, I don't like it. I don't like that they did. Yeah, like they added some stuff to it. It's cool that what they added. More games and stuff. More cloud, I guess more smoother to run cloud games in the cloud or whatever. But I don't like it. It doesn't seem like a necessary price range or price hike. Just to add Ubisoft games and to make to make cloud gaming better. Why can't you just do that for free? Or why couldn't you just do that with the way you had it? It's a money. I know it's a money thing to keep this stuff up and try to make things better, but maybe it wouldn't have been as bad. Maybe you would I still wouldn't like it. Don't get me wrong. I still wouldn't like it. I think it's dumb. You're raising it so much. Yeah, you are keeping other versions of Game Pass, but it's not Ultimate, so it's like... Anyways. You do have cheaper versions, but it's not like the Ultimate thing where you get several day one brand new games from Xbox coming out, and you get Call of Duty, and you get 400, 500 plus games at the snap of your finger. But, like, I feel like a $10 price increase or a 50% price increase, which you say 50% and then you say $10, it does kind of loosen the hit of how bad it is. But it's still $10. Like, $10 goes a long way now. People want a reason to spend the extra $10. Now, I just don't feel like this new Ultimate thing is that big of a jump to warrant an extra $10. Now, it might be for a lot of people. I just don't think it is. So if you, again, just like earlier when it comes to games and stuff I was talking about, if you think it's a good deal, go for it, man. It's your money. But to me personally, I don't like it. But I don't think it would have been as bad if they didn't increase the prices of everything else just before this. You could have done this, and people would have gotten mad, obviously, like me, which I'm not mad, I'm just whatever. I just don't like it. You still would have had those people that would have just been bashing on Microsoft, bashing on Xbox, no matter what. But it's like, you kind of understand because the way things are now, things got to go up if they want to keep Game Pass as cheap, because it is relatively cheap than buying all those games separate. To be fair, it's just you're paying for them a month for $30. Okay, I mean, it is cheaper that way, but you don't own them. and they can go away whenever you want, whenever Xbox wants to take them away. Not as bad, but then you add on the fact that they just raised prices twice in the same year for their consoles and everything, and then they advertise a brand new handheld console, one of them being $1,000 for a handheld. It's not even their main console. Talk about just bad timing. Like, if you wanted to do this, the one thing you don't do is the price increases to the consoles. You can even release those new consoles, or you just don't release these consoles right now, the handhelds. But I understand that's just a cool thing you want to do, and I'm sure those handhelds are going to be cool. Asus, who does the ROG Allies, those handhelds are cool. I actually have one of the original ones. My dad got me, luckily, one year got me one for Christmas, and I'm very thankful for it. And it's really cool. I like it. But $1,000? Even the cheaper one's $600. $600 for an Xbox? That's just a handheld that, I don't know. It's cool in theory. And I say that being someone that'd be whoring out if PlayStation would bring out Vita 2. Not for $600, I wouldn't, but I'd be marking out, as they say in wrestling terms, if PSP 2.0 came out, and I'm just like, $300 price point, games no more than $50, give it to me. $600, and you can't even put your own games in. It's all digital. And it's not even the best version of it, because the best version of it that's going to be the most powerful and everything is $1,000. I'm not into it. But I just don't think it would have been, this Game Pass increase would have been as bad or as badly taken if it just wasn't for everything else they've done price-wise to raise everything at the same time. Because it's been a few price hikes in the last couple years for Game Pass, yes, but I think people could have been more understanding if you were just doing that, or if you just did one of the two things, either raise the price of consoles or just don't bring out a console that's going to be $1,000. People can be understanding, but there's a limit, and I feel like Xbox has just completely ran over the limit. You want to increase prices once? Okay, yeah, they're understandable. There's tariffs going on. Can't really get away from it. You have to raise the prices no matter what. It sucks, but we have to. But then they do it again. They do it again, and then they release a console, which I'm just reiterating, I know. Then they released the $600 to $1,000 and $1,000 ROG Ally Xboxes. And now they're just increasing prices on Game Pass Ultimate for the main one. Again, I know they're fixing it and making changes to it to add more stuff. It's just not good timing. And what about PC Game Pass? Where did that price increase come from? And I don't think they're doing anything more with that. They're just increasing it by $5 for no reason. Why? Is that necessary? Is that really necessary? And then there was the rumor that prices for first-party video games to buy them straight out were going to be $80. That the Outer Worlds 2, I mentioned this last week, that some of their games like the Outer Worlds 2 were going to be $80. Luckily, they've went back on that, because if they would have added that to the mix, then, oh my God. But luckily, they're not. They're still going to be $70, which is still egregious. But it's like new games just went up $10 at the beginning of this console cycle. Now because of, thanks Mario Kart World, they're going to do it again. And they almost were going to do it here. But they had to back up. But that doesn't mean they're not going to do it. They just kind of like got stopped in their tracks to do it right now. They'll absolutely do it soon. $80 games for brand new games are going to be the norm. And it sucks. Again, it's just an incredible time because there's never been a time in gaming, or at least in recent memory, that we're halfway or past halfway through consoles being a thing, these consoles being a thing, their runtime, and they're going up. Everything's going up. I'm not the first one to say that, obviously, but it's still baffling that everything's going up with these consoles that are 5 years old tech at this point. Why is 5-year-old tech still expensive? It makes no sense, man. I don't know where this came from, but there was also rumors that Xbox is not going to be making hardware anymore, that they're going to focus more on the cloud. I feel like people have said that before, but they always go back to focusing on all that stuff. And then in the same week or so that I saw these rumors of no more hardware, just going to be focusing on cloud games, there was another article saying that their next piece of hardware is going to be stupid crazy. Just, you know what? If you're going to listen to rumors, make sure they're as credible as you can make them. As credible as you can get them. If there's not something that you can tell that Xbox might be working on in the background, just don't listen to this. I just want to bring it up because I find it interesting that literally one group will say, oh, there's no hardware being made. They're just going to focus on the cloud. And then the next group, literally within the same week, is like, oh, they're going to be making a new console. It's going to be a beast. Just stop. Figure out what Xbox is actually going to do before you spout something out. It's so dumb. So dumb. I've gotten through these a lot quicker than I thought I was going to because I only had 3 topics last week, got about an hour. I'm only about 45 minutes into this show, and I'm on my last topic. I had more topics to talk about. But I figured once I get started, plus, like, I didn't go as much into the EA stuff as I thought I was going to. I did my original recordings of the ones that completely just stunk to me. I just didn't want to. I felt like I was being too unfair, and I didn't vet it out as well as I could have. So that's kind of where I am with that. So that's if you feel like this episode's been going by a little fast, trust me, there was a lot more that I was going to say, but I stopped myself and just said, nah, I don't need that. Let's be a little more fair, and let's not say stuff that both might get myself in trouble as well as people will just absolutely hate my opinion on. So, which I did give my opinion, I just didn't go more into detail on it. So, last thing that I want to talk about for this game podcast today is the Minecraft Movie 2. The sequel has been announced. It'll be coming out in 2027. Can you hear my enthusiasm? Is that coming off across very well? Because, man, do I not care. You know, Minecraft, I mentioned last week, is one of my favorite video games of all time. It's actually my second favorite, only behind Silent Hill 2. But, man, I was interested in the movie because it's Minecraft. But everything leading up to it, like who was in it and how it looked, I was just like, oh no. Is this finally going to be the film? Is it going to be that film? And I watched it in theaters. Yes, I watched it in theaters. With a buddy of mine. and is indeed the first film I've actually ever watched in theaters that I felt, maybe I'm just too old for this. Like, really, everything about it, I just felt like, man, I'm too old to really enjoy this. And I was excited for it, too. Like, this game came out when I was in high school still. But when it finally came out, the movie anyways, I'm straight adulthood now, and I just I guess I'm starting to really not understand stuff that the old kids like these days. Man, I sound older than I am. I'm just 32, for crying out loud. But yeah, I watched that film. I like Jack Black, don't get me wrong. I didn't think Jason Momoa did a half bad job, but I don't know, I didn't think his character was that great. Everyone else was kind of all right, I guess. But I just thought overall everything was just not great. And then the Minecraft world itself, like, yeah, it was cool to see, like, sheep being expressive and llamas, like, with stupid faces and whatnot. But there was, like, stuff that was kind of a little graphic that I was like, why is that so morbid? Like, I get it, it's supposed to be realistic looking because it's real people, but, like, why are the zombies legitimately, like, I don't know, violently catching fire at one point, I think? I could be wrong, I can't. There was a part with the zombies that looked really, like, intense, and I'm like, this is for kids, right? This is supposed to, I'm guessing they're trying to make, it's one of those films that they're just, like, trying to make it for everybody, but it's like, why are you making it that intense for no reason? This is like Minecraft that both kids and parents can play together, and it's fun, and they understand it. Why do you have to do that like that with the game, with the movie, just to try to appeal to the parents? Why can't you just, base it more on how the game works? It's unnecessary. You're not if people are watching this for Minecraft, they're watching it for Minecraft. They're not watching it because you wanted to add things that'll make them be like, hey, I relate to that. Just focus on the Minecraft part. That's all you got to do. Maybe a hit and a nod there wouldn't hurt, but like I felt like that was happening a lot. You don't need to do that. Just focus on the Minecraft part. But maybe it's just me. Again, I got the feeling of, man, you know what? Maybe my time of getting into new things is come and gone already. I came out of the theater just being disappointed. I'm just like, why am I upset at this? It's a Minecraft movie. I don't know what I expected. When it comes to the sequel, I don't know if I'll watch it in theaters. I do love me Minecraft, don't get me wrong. I do love Minecraft the game. I love the world about it and everything. I love Minecraft. But I just don't know about these live-action Minecraft movies. Especially now if they're going to be... If they try to make this a franchise, which I hope not. You got one movie. I wish they would have kept it at that, but there is a lot of money to shell out of Minecraft. So I'm not surprised one bit we're getting a sequel, and we'll probably get another movie after that. It'll be a Star Wars trilogy of Minecraft whenever everything's all set and done. I'll probably give it a shot, but I just don't want to go to a movie theater and see it. And if it's bad, I'm not even going to try for a third one because I know there will be a third one. People are going to go watch it. It's going to make a lot of money because this one made a lot of money and it wasn't that good either, in my opinion. Sorry, in my opinion. But it made a lot of money because it's Minecraft and Chicken Jockey became a uber popular thing. Dumb TikTok memes. But it became a popular thing. Minecraft's always been popular. It'll make a crap ton of money. And then we'll get a third movie, and maybe by then everybody will be Minecraft movied out. Because I already am, but I'm going to give it a chance when it comes out in 2027, I suppose. So that's about it for this episode. There's probably some stuff I missed. If I did miss, just holler at me. Let me know. I'm not hard to find. Just hit us up on Facebook, on the STPP Facebook. Save the Planet Podcast with Jack and Keith. In fact, the actual URL is STPP with Jack and Keith. Just let me know in there if there's some stuff that I missed, that I messed up, that I can do better, all that stuff. As of right now, I will be back again. Regular day. This coming week's going to be very busy for me. So I got shifted over to a new shift this week, and that's been a little rough. In fact, I'm recording this at 1:36 a.m. on Sunday because I am actually off Sunday, but this is my final Sunday I'll be off for a long while, and then I'll be going on Monday. I'll have my weekends on Monday and Tuesday. So recording an episode and bringing them out on Sundays might not be sustainable for OMO. I'll see what I can do. But when it comes to recordings this late, this is definitely not going to be an all-the-time thing. So we'll see how this episode goes. We'll see within the next week. The next week is just going to be super busy. 7 days in a row. I don't get off. I work from Monday to Monday. I don't get off till not Monday coming up, but the next Monday. So literally, I don't know when OMO will come up next week, and then maybe after next week, we'll have a little bit more consistency of where I'm going to stick these OMO episodes, depending on everything. Plus, Save the Planet's coming back very soon. We record this coming Monday, which, by the way, this is the announcement for that. I haven't really said when we're recording, but we record our return episode Monday, and it'll be out Tuesday. So yeah, get ready. Get excited. Because Save the Planet Podcast is back, baby. STPP with Jack and Keith is back. It'll be out this Tuesday. This comes out today, on Sunday. In 2 more days, STPP is back. Huge announcement that I just slid in here last second. You're welcome. So thank you all so much for listening. Another fantastic show, another fantastic time. And maybe I can record at a time that is not almost 2 a.m. So I don't feel I have to rush. Which, again, I didn't talk a lot about the EA stuff because I just didn't want to get too much into the weeds with that. So who knows? We'll see how next week goes, and hopefully I won't make as many pauses as I've noticed in this episode. It's little mini things that I've been going throughout this show that I've been noticing that I'm really needing to work on since coming back. And I will work on it. We will get better. I will get better. Everything will get better. This show is going to be better. It's only episode 2 of OMO, but it'll be episode 99 of STPP. Coming back on Tuesday of this week. Stay tuned, everybody. It's going to be a big week for me. And the KJX3 podcasting, what do I call it, network? I don't know. Big week for podcasts and me and Jack and everybody involved. Stay tuned, everybody. I'll see you on Tuesday with STPP. For now, OMO, thank you all. See you next week. Love your faces. Goodbye.